think we can go ahead and get started. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Allison Bowles. I'm the Education and Community Programming Manager for La Jolla Music Society. Thank you so much for being here this evening for our premiere party. We are celebrating the hard work and achievements of musicians and dancers from the Bishop School, Mira Mesa High School, and San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts. This evening, I will be speaking with Sean Connors of Third Coast Percussion, as well as some of the students who participated in the project before we debut their new work entitled Spring Flight. And La Jolla Music Society's Education Ambassador Program actually launched in 2019-2020 season. And that was with our guitarist Pablo Saenz Villegas. And unfortunately, his time and residency with us got cut short by the pandemic. But our mission of engaging with students and the community on this deep and impactful level has continued with Third Coast Percussion. And we're so glad that we've been able to move forward. This year's project developed out of a composition project that Third Coast Percussion actually has done both in person and online during the pandemic. And Sean, I don't know if I've seen your name pop up, but if you are here, please unmute yourself and say hello. Sean, are you in the house? Doesn't look like it. All right, we will come back to Sean. In the meantime, I wanted to show you some of the work that inspired this project. This is a clip of Metamorphosis. It was a world premiere at our hall, the Conrad Prebys Performing Arts Center in La Jolla last November with Third Coast Percussion and dancers from Movement Art Is. So give me just 1 second to get that set up and I will show you that clip.
Sorry, I think you're muted. I don't think anyone can hear you right now.
I sure am, thank you. What a rookie mistake. Sorry about that. So that was as I said, a collaborative project with Third Coast Percussion and Movement Art Is. And with the composition project idea coming to us from Third Coast, La Jolla Music Society Artistic Director, Leah Rosenthal, who's on the call, hi Leah, came up with the idea of adding dance as a component to this project so that we could kind of mirror what was happening on stage with Metamorphosis. So I think that Sean may have joined us. Sean, is that you on your iPhone? Sean Connors? It is, and you are muted as well, sir. Oh, Sean, I think you're still muted.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Yes, my internet was being very mischievous. I'm trying to sign on my computer right now for a better connection right now, but doing it it's so lovely to be with all of you tonight. So yes, I'm here via iPhone.
Well, since we have you, I was hoping to talk to you a little bit about the importance of education to Third Coast Percussion, because you incorporate education activities with almost all of the performances that you do across the country and around the world, really. So I was wondering if you could talk about, in particular, how this composition project developed.
So we at Third Coast Percussion value the creative voice of all musicians at every point in their trajectory. So whether you be starting out on your clarinet and you're in your first few weeks of lessons, or you're a master violinist, we think that it's an important step to be able to create on your instrument, or because that translates to all the other arts in a very kind of seamless way. Like if you are a painter, you create a painting. If you're a sculptor, you create a sculpture. If you're a dancer, you can create dance. And it seems to us like any musician should be able to create music on their instrument. So for us, being a creator is important, as just as important as being a interpreter on your instrument. So that's why we love this project so much, and we were so excited to partner with everyone at La Jolla Music Society to make sure that young musicians could get to perhaps compose for the first time.
Yes, and we are so glad that you could adapt this online. I actually feel like the online component of this project really, even more so, paralleled the creation of Metamorphosis. And we just saw a short clip of that. Do you want to talk about the creative process leading up to the performance?
Absolutely. I was watching those clips and I was kind of thinking back to last summer when we as the performers and movement art is as the choreographers were in this strange virtual space all together, and we were creating something through the wonders of the internet. So what you all saw from the stage at the Conrad Prebys was actually created in a virtual realm. We sent recordings back and forth. We had a lot of FaceTime / Zoom meetings, and we created all of this through virtual correspondence, just for lack of a better word. And we all met each other in person. All the performers for the project met each other for the first time in person on stage at the Conrad Prebys, which is a really special moment for us. So we got to meet not the choreographers. We had known the choreographers for a while, but we got to meet the movement artists, Ron and Quentin, for the first time when we all met together last fall in San Diego.
And it was such a privilege for us to be a part of that process as well. So it was really cool. I wish I could say that all of our musicians and dancers for this project get the opportunity to meet up, but maybe we'll have to do a reunion in the fall and get everybody together at some point in the future. But in the meantime, Marley, I'd love to invite you to unmute yourself. Marley is a 7th grader at the Bishop School, and she was the only pianist in our group. So she actually got to work one-on-one with David Skidmore of Third Coast Percussion. And Marley, could you tell me a little bit about kind of your experience composing music? Is this something that you've ever done before?
My experience composing music was non-existent before this. So it was a really fun and interesting new experience.
That's so awesome. Well, I'm glad that we could give you an opportunity to try that avenue. What did you find most challenging about this project?
I would say I found the actual coming up with music most challenging, kind of making sure that I wasn't copying any music that I have played before, or making sure it's completely original and just coming up with it.
And then what was most rewarding for you?
that would be definitely seeing it all come together, kind of all the textures and melodies that all ended up just fitting together.
That's awesome. And we'll get to see it all as one giant puzzle that comes together at the end of our session today when we see the video. Sarah, would you like to unmute yourself? I'd love to hear from you. Sarah is a cellist who's graduating from Mira Mesa High School this year. And the cellists and violists work together in a group with Peter Martin. Can you tell us a little bit what it was like to create with other students? Were you able to work together? Did you help each other? Was it still more of an individual process?
I think for our group, it was kind of a mixture of both. So like Marley, it was my first time composing anything on my cello. So I was kind of nervous, but I think the experience was a lot of fun, mainly because there were other like people in that group. Like collaboration was really helpful, at least for me. Like people in my group would like add on to the compositions that I made, and then I do the same for them. And it just made it a very, it made our compositions a lot better, I think.
That's so awesome. I love that you had that teamwork. And after you created the music all together, you came to the Conrad to actually record your parts. What was that experience like for you? Had you recorded before?
That was my first time recording like at the Conrad, and I was, well, I mean, I knew it was a nice place, but like actually hearing it, like hearing myself play like there in person was really nice. Like the sound was beautiful, and I think the greatest experience was like the staff helping there. Like you guys were all really helpful and understanding of everything, so it made it a lot easier for me, and the experience was a lot smoother.
Well, that is so sweet of you to say. I have to say all the students were really well prepared. So you guys made our jobs really easy and really fun. The recording days were actually two of my favorite days from this project. It was just wonderful having people on site again after so long, and getting to see students perform on our stage was really a thrill. So thank you, Sarah. Once the music portion of the project was completed, we moved on to the dance portion with choreographers Quentin Robinson and Katie Thompson from Movements for Movements. And students from the creative and performing arts joined us originally from their homes before they came in for the recording session. So Maya, if you're available and would like to unmute yourself, I'd love for you to talk about that experience a little bit. What was it like as you were learning movement through Zoom? I mean, after the whole pandemic, this is probably something you're familiar with, but you were working with new choreographers and learning different styles of movement than you've used before. So if you'd like to share a bit about how that went for you.
First of all, thank you so much for this experience. Yeah, it was really a really interesting experience because I'm not that well versed in this kind of movement. So it was really amazing to be able to learn how to adapt myself and learn from all these different sorts of movements and textures. And I really feel that it helped me grow as both an artist and a dancer through this experience. And of course, it was very difficult through Zoom because, well, learning from video is always very difficult, but especially with the added component of having the lag of audio and video, and it being very difficult to learn how to sync up the movements to the music, like in a way that made it flow well. So it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, and I know the right and left challenge was an extra layer too, trying to figure out, okay, we got to say this is our right hand, this is our left hand, because the mirror on Zoom kind of caused some confusion at moments. But in the middle section of the piece, you were asked to create your own movement based on a written reflection that Quentin had guided all the students through. What was it like for you to dance and put your own emotions to movement? Is that something that was new to you?
I've done choreography and improvisation based on my own experiences before, but this was a lot more interesting, seeing as I could continue to reference the words that I had written before, and it was really refreshing to explore my individuality in that way. And then having that sort of sense of freedom combined with the more structured choreography of the choreographed sections, it really made it all compound and allowed me to be able to tell my own story, which I found was amazing.
It was really cool. That was such an exciting part for me watching the recordings happen. It's to see finally what everyone had decided to do, because we had seen little snippets here on Zoom. And as I was watching rehearsals, seeing the little squares move, but you don't catch every detail. And then during the recording session, it was like, wow, like amazing. So that was really cool. Thank you so much, Maya. And as all of you know, it's been a really difficult year for performing arts, and not just for professional artists, but for students and for school programs as well. The Bishop School has actually been fortunate enough through some very stringent modifications to be able to continue performing together at least this spring. And so they were able to rehearse together in the classroom. And Jada is a student at Bishop's. She's a senior this year. I was hoping that you could unmute and tell us a little bit about what it was like working with the two different choreographers.
It was really rewarding just because they both teach such different styles of dance, one being one that our group is a little bit more familiar with, and then the other one being pretty much unfamiliar to most of us. So I thought it was a very good balance. And I think for learning dance, we've gotten so used to learning dance through the screen for so long that it wasn't as much as a barrier as I originally thought it would be earlier in the year. And I'm also assuming that the choreographers have gotten sort of used to teaching through a screen also. So, there were times where they were just like, oh, I'll do this, I'll turn around because of all the weird mirroring issues. That was really helpful. And personally for me, I just overall really enjoyed learning from them, especially because it can be really awkward learning from someone that isn't your normal teacher. And I don't know if it was the medium that we were learning through, or if it was because I was physically with my classmates, but I think they created a really comfortable and supportive environment.
And what out of all of it would you say was most rewarding for you? What part did you like the best?
Honestly, just getting to do one more big thing with this group of dancers. I'm a senior, like you said, so this is my last year, and I've spent so much of it alone, like dancing in my room. And it was just nice to be in person with my peers and being around someone other than my mother. Like, she's just watching me dance from the corner sometimes, really creepy. But so just like being able to talk with them and consult with each other about what we were doing was just something that I was really grateful for.
That is so awesome. Well, you can't help it that you've got a proud mama, and I hope that she's watching tonight as we premiere the video. We've got a little bit of extra time. If there's anybody else who wants to share about their experience or has a question for a student, please feel free to unmute yourself and join in. And I have to say, after many, many Zoom sessions, I am super okay with the long, awkward pause. Sean taught me how to do that. You just wait and somebody will come. All right. And if not, then, did someone, Connor, go ahead.
Yeah, I can add that as a wind instrument player, we had almost even rougher during COVID, because even when we were allowed to meet together, CDC restrictions said that we still couldn't play together. But having this and recording in the Prebys theater was actually, I want to say, my first experience playing somewhere not in my own house since the start of COVID. And like other people said, the sound in that theater is just amazing, and compared to my closet, is so much more fulfilling, full sound. Loved it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. And I really, truly hope we can have all of you back at some point to play together in the stage and perform together. So definitely.
Allison, could I add one thing?
Of course.
I just want to say thank you, because school-age children have gotten the slow no for 15 months now. And this project gave my students something really special to look forward to. And I have been preaching for a while to everyone, including myself, to look at whatever a situation gives you, try and see what it gives you as opposed to what it's taking away from you. And this project was a stunning example of something we probably would not have gotten to do had it not been for COVID. So it was a tangible show and tell moment of, if you can just sort of look past the cacophony and put your disappointment in the margin for a bit, there is always something that you can grab from an experience as an artist that is being given to you, that is idiosyncratically of that time and that circumstance. And so thank you very much for helping me drive that point home. Thank you.
Oh, well, you're getting lots of applause from everybody. And Ms. Corey, thank you. Donna Corey is the dance instructor at Bishop's, and it was such a pleasure working for you. And all of the teachers, you went on a very long and wild ride with us as we planned and replanned and rescheduled and postponed and did it again. And I just want to say thank you all for coming on this journey. That's a phrase that we've been saying to artists and education partners alike, is we appreciate you. You've been on a journey with us, and I'm so glad to hear that it was worthwhile. So thank you.
I'd like to echo Miss Corey's statement. Thank you for your inclusion of our students at SDSCPA. And I just wanted to add on top of what she said, it was so important to have a performing opportunity, but also our students felt very, what's the great word to say? They felt very privileged to work on such a beautiful stage, and they felt like everyone was very supportive of them, and you were especially nice to them and made them feel comfortable, and they really enjoyed the experience. So thank you so much for giving them a professional experience, and we look forward to seeing what the product is.
Yes, and on that note, thank you so much, Ms. Cariel. She is the dance instructor from School of Creative and Performing Arts, and I see a note from Mr. Mulvaney there in the chat. So thank you all, Mr. Anderson as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And without further ado, I think it's time to jump into the video. There is one person left who I haven't thanked, which is our amazing multi-talented intern, Dominic Calgaro, who did all of the editing for this video. So huge hats off to him with all of my gratitude. And let me get that set up and we will watch Spring Flight. Bravo. Congratulations, everybody. And I hope you'll rewatch and rewatch again. We'll get it posted on our YouTube channel so that you can see all of your names at the end and see all of it in glory again. Thank you so much. It looks like we have a hand raised potentially. Okay, never mind.
We just meant to clap. Sorry, we just meant to clap.
Oh, okay, just meant to clap. Great, bravo.
Bravo. I'm so glad that you were on the stage, and it was the first dance performance we've had since Mark Morris dance group on the Baker Baum Concert Hall stage. So you followed in some good company, and maybe he needs to watch this because you hit it out of the park. It was beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. And I just saw a question to the YouTube channel in the chat. I will send out an email with the link to everybody so that you can get it. Yeah, congratulations. Well, thank you all so much. I believe that are the SC students staying on? Is that correct, Ms. Carriel? No, okay. Never mind. Okay, well, thank you all very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Mulvaney. It's great to see everyone, and congratulations. Thank you.